Hi everyone, and welcome to Eden Secret in the heart of the Eden Valley on the outskirts of the Lake District for this special edition of soap making from scratch. It's episode 10. Can you believe we're at episode 10 already? If you haven't seen episodes 1 through to 9, click the playlist link in the description box below the video, or it posted on the top comment. And also in the information card on the top right hand of the screen, and you can watch every episode that we've made so far from episode 1. Today we're going to be making a 4 oil recipe plus some castor oil. So I'm going to call it a 4 oil recipe. Yes, it's got castor in, but I don't want to count that as like an oil. Of course it is an oil, but it is a little bit of a different oil to all the others. So this will be a 4 oil plus castor. Enjoy! The type of lye we're using is NaOH, that's for solid soap. Our weight of oils is going to be in grams, and we're using 851 grams of oil. Our water as a percentage of oils is 25, 5% super fat with no fragrance. The oils we're adding to our recipe today are olive oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, shea butter, and castor oil. That's 160 grams of olive oil, 400 grams of coconut oil, 100 grams of sweet almond oil, 150 grams of shea butter, and 41 grams of castor. Check that it does say 851 and that your percentage is 100%. Click view or print recipe. Print your recipe off and then just check that everything is correct on it. This recipe is going to be called the Eden Secret 4 by Oil cold process soap recipe plus castor. If you want this recipe, just get in touch with me via the website, link in the description box below, and I'll send you the PDF. The ingredients today that we're going to need for the Eden Secret 4 by Oil soap recipe, and we're aiming for more bubbles today in the mix, in the finished soap, but we're going to add some beautiful sweet almond oil to the recipe today, and I'm hoping that'll give us some larger bubbles. So I call it the 4 oil recipe because we've got sweet almond oil, olive oil, this is solid coconut oil in here that has melted because the temperature is really warm at the moment, and shea butter. I am adding castor oil, and although it is an oil, I'm not going to call it I'm not going to class it as an oil, because this is just an additive just to give us a few more bubbles and a suitable lather. So the 4 oils are shea butter, sweet almond oil, olive oil and coconut oil. And then we're going to need some water, we'll need some jugs, we need some sodium hydroxide, we need a hand blender, and don't forget, if you're making soap, you're going to need a mask, some goggles and a pair of gloves, and some weighing scales. So let's get on with weighing out all of our beautiful oils, shall we? So let's get on with, first we're going to mix up our lye solution, and then we're going to move on to measuring our oils. Okay, so let's pour our water in, shall we? So we need 213 grams of water in a jug. And we need 127 grams of sodium hydroxide. And we're going to add our sodium hydroxide to our water, never the other way around. Never water into the sodium hydroxide, just for safety reasons. And then give your sodium hydroxide and water a good mix with a spoon. Just keep stirring gently until all of the granules have dissolved. The water will become very clear once all the granules have dissolved. As you can see at the moment, it's still opaque, but it is becoming clearer. And once it's clear, you know that all those granules have dissolved. I mean, the granules are pretty much dissolved now, but we're just going to keep going until we're happy. It is imperative that it is your responsibility to be safe whatever you do, and whether you're making soap, bath bombs, or whether you're cooking and following any tutorials from YouTube, doing anything, crafts, cooking, soap making, anything at all. It's your responsibility to make sure that what you're doing is safe and that you follow safe practices while doing it. Okay, so we're going to weigh out our oils first, but the oils that we're going to put into the container are the solid oils. So we're going to add the coconut oil and the shea butter first. So coconut oil, we've got a high percentage of coconut oil in this recipe. Now the next soap making from scratch episode is going to contain palm oil, because I like palm oil in a bar of soap. All the recipes we've had so far have been palm free. That doesn't mean every recipe from now on will be that doesn't mean every recipe from now on will contain palm oil, but the next one is going to have palm oil. And because we want more bubbles, we've upped the coconut oil. Now you can't just keep upping and upping and upping coconut oil. I tend to find 50% solid oils against 50% liquid oils always works quite nicely. A little bit less than 50% solid oils are great, and a little bit more as well, but you don't want to go overboard with any oils really. So as I said, we do have a high quantity of coconut oil today, so we're going to put 400 grams in there, which is nearly half of our full measurement of oils. Now if you're somewhere cold, your coconut oil will be solid. It'll actually look like shea butter. We're going to warm the coconut oil up in the microwave, then we're going to add our shea butter into it. Now try not to overheat any of your oils, because it burns them and they end up a bit stinky. So just always double check that you haven't put your microwave on for, say you're putting it on for 2 minutes, make sure you didn't put it on for 20 minutes. Or worse, 200 minutes. So we're just chopping our shea butter up into smaller cubes and adding that into the coconut oil, which is nice and warm. So I actually melted that coconut oil for 2 minutes, just in case you wondered. And I tend not to put it on like 30-second increments, because I'm well used to my microwave by now. But if you're not used to your microwave, just do it on 30-second increments, just to make sure you don't overheat it, because in the old days I have overheated oil, and when you pick the jug up, it actually burns a hole in the bottom of the jug, and all the oil comes pouring out of the bottom, which obviously can be very dangerous, especially if you've got open-toed shoes on. So when we do get jobs, we're usually told we need to wear closed-toed shoes, but I don't wear closed-toed shoes at home. I'm very much a slip-on type of shoe. I just like to wear a slip-on sandal all the time. One reason, I've got arthritis in my ankles, and my ankles swell up, my feet are quite big as well, so it's hard to find shoes that I can wear that are comfortable, so that's why I wear sandals. Right, okay, so as you can see, the shea butter is in there. We're okay for not wearing gloves right at this second, because we're not touching any of the lye or anything, so we're just going to give that a gentle stir and let all of that gorgeous rich shea butter melt into the gorgeous coconut oil. Now, except for the Aleppo soap, all of the oils that I'm using in these recipes in the soap making from scratch series, they're all cheap oils. They're not expensive oils. Obviously you can put expensive oils in your soap if you want to, but as far as I'm concerned, if it's for the body, you just want to be using the cheaper oils. You can put more expensive ingredients in there, more expensive oils, but just put a little bit in because it's just for label appeal, really. Your expensive oils, I would be putting in a soap that you're going to use on your face. And super rich expensive oils go in beautiful face creams and things like that. Of course, it's entirely up to you, and you can put whatever you want in your soap. Now you'll notice that the recipes that we've been doing in each episode, you'll notice that the lye content has changed for each one, even though the full weight of the oils has been exactly the same at 851 grams for every single recipe. The lye value does change, and that is because every different oil has a different sap value. So the beauty with the soap calculators is they work out exactly how much lye you need. I'm hoping that we're going to get some nice round blown bubbles in this soap recipe because of the sweet almond oil, but we'll see. The other oil that gives really good bubbling is olive oil. So we're actually going to weigh our olive oil out into this container now. So we're just going to tare that, and for this recipe only 160 grams of olive oil because I've upped my coconut oil, and we needed an extra oil in there with the sweet almond. I've reduced some of the olive oil, and I've reduced I've got a small quantity of sweet almond oil in there. So all we need is 160 grams of olive oil. And I'm going to do an experiment. After I've tared these scales and weighed all of these oils out, we're going to pour them into a new jug, and we're going to see if it adds up to 851 grams. What do you think? Write in the comments below. You tell me if, when we've measured all the oils out by tearing the scale each time we add an oil, is the quantity of the oil in the jug going to be the correct amount, like 851 grams? Right, so that's 160 grams of olive oil. And we're going to tare that again, and we're going to open our sweet almond oil. And we have 150 grams of sweet almond oil today. You know, don't worry too much if you go over with your olive oil by a gram. Just knock a gram off your sweet almond oil, or vice versa. So 150 grams of sweet almond oil. Now you can see sweet almond oil is a lot paler in colour to olive oil. And now we're going to add our castor oil, which is 41 grams. And I'm just going to pour that straight out of the bottle because it's quite a thick oil, this. Oof! I've just gone over by 2 grams I've gone over by. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to give it a stir. I know I've gone over, but I'm going to get another jug and then I'm going to pour this into the other jug and just see if we've got 851 grams. Alright, let's find out, shall we? How crazy is that? 845 grams. But I'm just going to scrape out every little dreg out of the jug and see where we get. And the reason I'm doing this is because last time exactly the same thing happened. I was under when I checked it. So I just thought for your benefit I'll show you. There we are. So the dregs I had left in the jug that had the olive oil and the sweet almond oil, I've just poured those in. So now we have well, it says 852, but we know it's 851. It's just jumped up. It doesn't want to work out, does it? It's on 852, 851, 852. So it's right on the border. And that is quite fine for me. We'll just leave it like that. So we're just going to allow the oils and the lye solution to cool down, and then we're going to mix them together and we're going to pour them into our mould. I am going to C-pop again today. I think C-popping is better, or you know, cold process, oven process, that's what a C-pop is. Or I want to gel my soap. I really do think it's beneficial to gel your soaps if you can. If you can't, it doesn't matter. I haven't gelled my soaps all these years, but going forward I'm going to try to start gelling every single soap I make, even the ones I make in the large loaves. Now I just want to mention here that the soaps I make in the soap making from scratch series, I don't sell them because I don't have safety assessments for them. In the UK you can't actually sell anything without a safety assessment, so I just make these for home use. To be honest, I'm not making them for home use, I'm actually making them for you. I'm making them to show you how to make soap and give you all these free recipes, and then you can choose out of all of them which recipes you like the best. Just passing on my knowledge to you for free. So while we're just talking about that, if you want to become a subscription member of the channel, click the description button below the video and a join button will pop up. So if you want to join and pay a certain subscription every month, $1.99 or $4.99, YouTube do take a cut. It's just a way of me making a little bit of extra cash doing all this for you, to show you for free and teach you for free how to make soap, and that will save you thousands. Honestly, I spent thousands learning how to make cold process soap, and this is going to save you an awful lot of money. But yeah, it will save you a heck of a lot of money in the long run. And thank you to everybody who has joined so far. Okay, it's now time to unmold and cut. And one of my viewers very kindly mentioned in the last video, the only reason you tend to get a crack down the centre is when the whole of the soap doesn't go through gel. So say the centre of the soap gets very hot but the outside stays cool, so they're both working against each other, and that's how you end up getting cracks down the middle. So we're just going to unmold this now. And we're going to cut it on my cutter, which is from MRK Tools. There's a link in the description box to MRK Tools because people keep asking where I get my cutter. As far as any of the equipment that I recommend, or fragrances or anything, colours, if you go and buy them, please let them know that I recommended them. I don't get anything for it. I just would like them to know that I am recommending them on my videos. So MRK Tools do have quite a lot of cutting equipment. And there you go, there's our soap. I'm dying to see. It does look different to my other bars of soap, probably because it's a higher content of coconut oil, and with the sweet almond oil, which is an ingredient I tend not to use in soap. But I'm looking forward to seeing if we've got a good lather on this. I have a feeling though I need to use more sweet almond oil than what I've actually used in this recipe. But we'll see, because what I'm looking for is the bigger round blown bubbles rather than the small creamy bubbles. And I have used a lot of coconut oil, haven't I? So I have a feeling we'll still get a lot of creamy bubbles. Okay, let's go and test it, shall we? Actually, we have got bigger bubbles. That's incredible. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah? Obviously, the more you rub, the creamier it's going to get. But that is a really, really good lather in a soap, and it doesn't feel sticky at all. Beautiful. Wow, that just feels like it would be so gorgeous for the face. Oh, it's hot, that water. Okay, so we're just going to give these a trim up with a potato peeler, as usual. Just neatens all those edges down. And I hope you enjoyed episode 10 of soap making from scratch. Don't forget, if you missed any of the other episodes, the playlist link is in the description box, or it's in the top comment in the comment section, or in the information card that's in the top right hand corner of your screen. Have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you either tomorrow or the next day for another video. And our next soap making from scratch episode will be 2 weeks tonight, so that's Friday at 6 PM in 2 weeks. Bye bye for now.